Releasing deep-seated resentment. Welcome. Today we're going to explore a challenging but transformative journey, releasing the deep-seated resentment that may be holding you back. I'm glad you're here, because acknowledging these feelings is already the first step toward healing. Resentment can feel like carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones, each one representing a painful memory, a grudge, or unresolved anger. Over time, this weight doesn't just burden your shoulders, it affects your relationships, your health, and your ability to move forward in life. But today, I want to offer you something powerful: the tools to set down that weight and reclaim your freedom. Let's begin this journey together. Understanding resentment. Before we can release resentment, we need to understand what it truly is. Resentment is more than just anger. It's anger that has settled in, taken root, and become part of how we see the world. Psychologically speaking, resentment occurs when we feel we've been treated unfairly or wronged in some way. This could be by individuals, institutions, or even life circumstances. The key characteristic is that we keep replaying these wrongs in our minds, strengthening neural pathways of pain and anger each time. What makes resentment particularly harmful is that it's both backward-looking and forward-destroying. It keeps us anchored to past hurts while simultaneously poisoning our present and future experiences. Research has shown that holding on to resentment can increase stress hormones like cortisol, weaken your immune system, raise blood pressure, create emotional barriers in relationships, prevent you from fully experiencing joy and peace. The person you ultimately hurt most by holding on to resentment is yourself. But here's the good news. Recognizing this gives you the power to change it. The power of letting go. Letting go of resentment isn't about excusing harmful behavior or pretending you weren't hurt. It's about freeing yourself from the ongoing pain of that hurt. When we release resentment, remarkable things happen. First, we reclaim our emotional energy. Think about how much mental space your resentments occupy. That's energy you could direct toward your goals, your loved ones, and your own growth. Second, we break unhealthy patterns. Resentment often leads us to expect the worst from people and situations, creating self-fulfilling prophecies that confirm our negative worldview. Third, we open ourselves to new possibilities. When we're no longer defending old wounds, we can approach life with curiosity instead of caution. I spent years resenting my father for his absence. Every relationship I had was filtered through that lens of abandonment. When I finally began the work of releasing that resentment, it wasn't just my relationship with my father that changed. My whole world opened up. I could trust again. The science backs this up. Studies have shown that forgiveness practices, which include releasing resentment, can lead to reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety, improved heart health, better sleep quality, stronger immune function, more satisfying relationships. This isn't just about feeling better emotionally. It's about creating tangible improvements in your quality of life. Practical techniques. Now, let's talk about how to actually release these deep-seated resentments. I want to share 4 powerful techniques that you can begin practicing today. First, acknowledge and name your resentments. Take time to identify exactly what you're resenting and why. Journal about it in detail. Where do you feel it in your body? What thoughts arise? By bringing these feelings into conscious awareness, you begin to loosen their unconscious grip. Second, practice self-compassion. Often, resentment persists because we're harsh with ourselves about our pain. Try placing a hand on your heart and saying, "This is a moment of suffering. Suffering is part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment." This simple practice activates your parasympathetic nervous system, creating a sense of safety that allows you to process difficult emotions. Third, use the empty chair technique. Set up an empty chair and imagine the person you resent sitting there. Speak your truth to them, all the things left unsaid, then switch chairs and respond as them. This dialogue often reveals new perspectives and unacknowledged aspects of the situation. Fourth, create a release ritual. Write down what you're resenting on a piece of paper. Read it aloud, acknowledging its impact on your life. Then create a ritual of release, perhaps burning the paper safely, burying it, or dissolving it in water. As you do so, speak words of intention. I release this burden. It no longer serves me. The power of ritual shouldn't be underestimated. It helps your subconscious mind process and integrate the change you're making. Remember, releasing resentment isn't usually a one-time event, but a practice. Some days will be easier than others. The goal isn't perfection, but progress. Cultivating a forward-looking mindset. As you work on releasing resentment, you're creating space for something new. This is where the practice becomes truly transformative. Ask yourself, what would I like to grow in the space where resentment once lived? Perhaps it's a greater capacity for joy, more authentic connections, creative energy, inner peace, compassion for yourself and others. When you notice old resentments trying to take root again, gently redirect your attention to nurturing these new qualities instead. One powerful practice is to end each day by reflecting on 3 moments of connection, beauty, or kindness you experienced. This trains your mind to look for the good rather than cataloging hurts. Remember, your attention is like water and sunlight. What you focus on will grow. Choose consciously what you want to cultivate. Conclusion. We've explored the nature of resentment, the freedom that comes from releasing it, practical techniques for letting go, and ways to cultivate a more positive focus. This work isn't always easy, but it is always worthwhile. Each step you take toward releasing resentment is a step toward reclaiming your power and your peace. I want to leave you with this thought. You deserve to be free from the burden of past hurts. Not because what happened wasn't painful, but because you are meant for more than carrying that pain forward. Take a deep breath now and feel the possibility of that freedom. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember that healing happens in layers, and each time you practice these techniques, you're building strength and resilience. Be gentle with yourself and celebrate each small victory along the way. Until next time, take good care